Hi, I'm Richard Ricketts, CEO of UltraByRich Consulting Group, bringing over 20 years of expertise in growing businesses using digital advertising and marketing solutions.
And hi, I am Natalie, your co host and dedicated marketing expert here at UltraByRich, passionate about helping brands unlock their full potential.
Thanks so much, Natalie. Happy to have you here. And a big welcome to all of our first-time listeners. This is the UltraByRich podcast, where I share real success stories and strategies that I've used to generate millions of dollars in sales.
In each episode, we'll dive into real world strategies, client success stories, and expert tips to help you grow your business and generate more revenue.
Whether you're an e-commerce entrepreneur or a marketing pro, we've got the insights to take your brand to new heights.
Stick around and don't forget, if you're ready to scale, book a discovery call with us at ultrabyrich.com. Let's get started. Today's topic is golf carts.
Golf carts are transforming private communities in ways nobody expected. A staggering 72% now prefer them as their primary transport option. But here's what's really fascinating. This shift is exposing a massive digital divide in how these vehicles are bought and sold.
That's such an interesting observation, especially considering how most people's first step in buying a golf cart isn't heading to a local dealer anymore. They're pulling out their phones and searching online.
Well, looking at the industry data, it's actually pretty shocking. You know how many businesses are still operating like it's 1995? They're putting ads in local papers while their potential customers are all online trying to find answers about electric golf carts.
You know what this reminds me of? It's exactly like when bookstores initially refused to adapt to online shopping. Remember how that turned out?
That's such a perfect parallel. And here's what makes it even more compelling. Organic search is driving about 53% of all website traffic. So if you're in the golf cart business and you're not optimizing for search engines, you're essentially invisible to half your potential customers.
So what you're saying is these businesses are basically hiding from their own customers?
Well, in a way, yes. And here's the really mind-blowing part. Businesses that align their content with buyer intent are seeing conversion rates increase by up to 300%. That's not just a small improvement. That's a complete transformation of their business model.
Oh, wow. That makes perfect sense, though. Like, if I'm searching for specific information about electric golf carts and I find a website that answers exactly what I'm wondering about, I'm much more likely to trust that business.
Exactly right. And local SEO efforts can boost walk-in and phone leads by 40% for dealers and rental fleets. It's about creating this perfect synergy between your online presence and your physical location.
You know, this whole conversation is reminding me of that marina near my parents' house. They used to rely entirely on drive-by traffic, but once they got serious about their online presence, everything changed.
That's such a great example because it really highlights how the digital transformation isn't just about having a website, it's about having a strategic digital presence. And what's particularly interesting about the golf cart industry is how diverse the customer base has become.
Right? You've got traditional golf courses, retirement communities, resorts, private estates, maintenance companies, each with their own specific needs.
And that diversity is exactly what makes the digital marketing approach so powerful. Like a resort manager looking to buy a fleet of 20 carts is going to have very different questions than a homeowner looking for one cart for their vacation property.
Well, that makes me think about how the role of the salesperson must have changed too. They're probably dealing with much more informed customers now.
You know, that's actually creating an interesting shift in how businesses need to train their sales teams. Instead of just knowing basic specs, they need to be able to have in-depth conversations about specific features that customers have already researched online.
That's fascinating, especially when you consider how the traditional advantages of bigger businesses might matter less in this new digital landscape.
And here's what I find really interesting about the timing of all this. You know, with such high adoption rates in private communities, we're at this critical tipping point where the businesses that adapt quickly to these digital changes are going to have a huge advantage.
So it's really not just about selling golf carts anymore. It's about being present and helpful at every stage of the customer's journey.
Looking at all this data and these trends, it's clear that the golf cart industry is actually a perfect case study in digital transformation. The businesses that understand these changes and adapt accordingly are going to thrive, while those that stick to traditional methods might find themselves increasingly irrelevant.
That's such a great point about digital disruption. Who would have thought that golf carts would be such a perfect example of how the internet has transformed consumer behavior?
Well, it really drives home how fundamental these changes are. Whether you're selling books, boats, or golf carts, understanding and adapting to how people search for and buy products online isn't just an option anymore. It's absolutely essential for survival and growth in today's market.
Well, that's a wrap on today's episode of Elevate with UltraByRich. We hope these insights have sparked some ideas to scale your business to new heights.
Join us next time as we dive into more industries and new strategies. In the meantime, if you're ready to elevate your brand, book a discovery call at ultrabyrich.com or email us at hello@ultrabyrich.com.
Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you here next time.